Hi Jackson, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. First of all, let me just say I think you got a big league name, brother. I like that, Jackson Hardesty, and pretty close to a big league swing to go along with that name. Do a lot of things very, very well, bud. We're going to run this forward just a little bit, and the one thing that I like is just this rhythm that you have where you're going back and forth with your body. That just lessens and eases tension in your setup, in your swing. So I really, really like that. I like the fact that you're very, very, very much under balance. Your knees are inside your feet. Your head's inside your knees. That's outstanding. That's a tough thing to teach young hitters, and you do it. So good job there. And we'll run this into the load-up phase. Okay, the load-up phase is gathering and storing energy to the inside part of your back leg. I love where your hands are, just off your back shoulder, over your back foot. I like your bat angle. Everything is very, very solid in that position, okay? Your knees are inside. That's outstanding. We're going to run this forward, okay? We're at toe touch, okay? I'm sure you've heard the term get your foot down, okay? The toe, with most hitters, the toe will land first, as is the case with you. It is not until the back foot firmly plants into the ground am I fully loaded, okay? Now my foot is down. At that particular point, we want to check a few things. First thing we want to check is, am I inside my feet? We can see here, you're inside your feet. Do I have, are my hips staying square to home plate? And I'd say in your case, pretty close to staying square. That's pretty good. The other thing that we check for is, do I have good, equal athletic bend in both knees? Yes, you do. So that's a very good, solid position. Your head has moved forward into a solid position over your belt buckle. All right. We hear the term stay back. A lot of kids, stay back means, okay, I got to keep my head back here on this back leg, and this front knee will stiffen up too quickly. But you've moved your head into a very solid, strong position over your belt buckle. That's a good, solid position to start our swing from. The other thing that I check is, I want my players, you know, we hear the term stay closed. You know, staying closed is very hard to do because of flexibility in the knees, flexibility in the hips. So I just want my guys to keep their stride foot at a 45-degree angle or less than. And you can see here you're at 39. So you have a very good, solid base underneath you to start your swing. Okay, now we've got two first moves. We got a lower half first move, and then we have the hands first move. And the lower half is is direction to the baseball and drive through the baseball. Okay, that's basically our power source, is our lower half. So the energy that I have gathered into this back leg, the inside part of this back leg in my load, all right, I now want to transfer that energy or that weight into the inside part of my front leg. So that back knee right here, this is going to be your first move, driving that into the inner part of the thigh of the stride leg. Okay, we'll run it forward. You can see you make a good first solid move into the baseball. You're still inside your foot, which means you're back. You're behind the ball. You're in a good position. Okay, we'll erase this. I'll go back one click, one frame, and we'll talk about the hands first move. As the back knee drives into the front leg, this elbow will drop into the slot. It's probably a term that you've heard. We want to drop it into the rib cage and just off the back hip. Okay, and I'm gonna run this forward. Okay, we get into this position, right into here. We want to see back shoulder, back elbow, and back hip. We want to see that in alignment. That's called the connection. And we are connecting with the lower half drive or weight transfer into the front leg. Okay, so that all of this can be in a line. All right, we'll run this forward. As it gets into this position, this is where I should see this connection still in place, and then the hands will start to work in front of my body, or just past my center of gravity, which again is my belt buckle or my belly button. As you can see here, the one thing I'd like for you to clean up is this front elbow, or this back elbow. This back elbow has worked in front of your power source, which is this back hip, and it is at a point to where our hands should be working in front of this elbow, right out here, just like that, okay? You see all that? This elbow should be more in this position, and my hands should now be more in this position. So they're working in front of that connection that's going to allow for the maximum bat speed through the baseball. When our elbow gets in front of our hands or in front of our power source, such as yours, we tend to drag the bat through the hitting zone, okay? And as we go forward, the bat now at this point should be starting to, it should be more in this position, and we run it forward. One more click to contact, and this ball gets in on you just a little bit. And for me, it all has to do with this back elbow right here, okay? I do see some good things at this point of contact, though. I see palm up, palm down, and I see your head and eyes looking right down the barrel of the bat. All right, that's solid. And I think it's important for you to know, Jackson, that as soon as your head and eyes come off the baseball or come out of the hitting area, the swing is basically over, because the barrel of the bat will follow your head and eyes. Okay, so we don't get the good full extension that you see here because your head and eyes have stayed. You get good full extension with the barrel of the bat facing the pitcher. Okay, that's all good. The one thing I think we can clean up as we go forward is I'm going to take this back to this position right here. Okay, right there. Well, what I want you to do is to clean up this back elbow and not let it get in front of your power sources. We're going to set a tee on the outer third of the plate, okay, just off of my front foot, right here, and we're going to do some one-hand drills. And we're going to get into this connected position. I'm going to get into my into my load. My heel's going to plant. I'm going to drive my elbow down into my rib cage, okay, and at that rib cage, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to make sure that my shoulder, my elbow, and my back hip are all in alignment. We're in a good connected position. At that point, I'm then going to let my hands work in front of my elbow, and I'm going to feel the release of the barrel going through this ball out here on the outer third of the plate. Okay? If we're in a cage, we should drive this ball through the right side of the cage. If I'm on a field, I should hit low line drives through the second baseman to see the backspin and the carry go through this ball. But I think the biggest thing right here is maybe trying to create just a little bit too much power with maybe the front side, but the elbow is an important part right here of getting into that connected position, and now let your hands work in front of your body and release the barrel and keep that barrel going through this ball middle away or outer third. The reason we work outer third is so that we stay on the ball and we feel the release, and it really forces us to feel our bat speed staying through that ball that's on that outer half or outer third. So we got to get it to the connected position, and then I'm just gonna let my hands take over, and it's gonna release the barrel. If I were to throw the bat through the ball, my bat would fly through the second baseman. Okay, another way to think of this is if you've ever picked up a flat rock and skipped it on a lake, you know, your elbow would stop in this position, and then your throwing hand would work in front so that you can skip that rock. So just think about skipping a rock with that top hand. The elbow stops, the hand releases the flat rock, so that you can skip it across the lake. That's kind of the motion that we want with that top hand, and I think this drill will really help you. So, but I want to wish you all the luck, and thanks for coming to our camp.